large piece of saran wrap. It's the only way I can describe it. But this thing was very wide. So I'm up 14 foot and it hung quite a ways down. And I'm thinking, what is this thing? It didn't really scare me at that time until it moved and formed the arm that reached over to the other tree. It reached over about 12.
That is the story that immediately popped into my mind. I am not an expert, technically challenged, but I have had experiences with the phenomenon. I've been down the rabbit hole for a long time. I am seeing distortion in this video out of South Carolina that I am making this video reply with. I am seeing distortion. I go frame by frame. There is no animal. There is very similar distortion. That woman that you saw in the beginning, the entire clip of the documentary is at the end of this video, sped up 2 times so you can see the correlation. So I need someone that's way more advanced than me to do what they do with video analyzing, see, ADHD. But my spidey senses and pattern recognition immediately went to this phenomenon. I see distortion everywhere. Also, I really would like to know the area this was filmed and if there was any sightings of any lights or those other things in the sky. Because if you watch the documentary at the end, there is a correlation. So, I'm not saying it's aliens, but I'm not saying it's not. I believe something is cloaked, and there is a prior case, other cases besides the one in Ohio, to be frank. Now, the documentary. Sorry for the long video. I live in South Carolina, by the way, and there's definitely greenery and trees.
Ohio's awesome. We have some great big trophy deer in Ohio, and we happen to have some of the biggest right here on our own property. This is supposed to be a fun night to deer hunt. It was the second day of the season. I wanted to get my, run in the woods to hunt. I was really excited about it. There was band over at the high school. By the time I got to my deer stand, I could hear them. It was all settled in. Didn't see nothing coming down the path. Trails, birds, crickets, everything, or wood sounds. When you're hunting, you have 2 of your most keenest senses, is your hearing and your eyesight. All of a sudden, the woods went to this dead quiet. If I dropped a pin out of that deer stand, they cut off. No birds, no crickets, no nothing. The sun's still up. We were not calling for bad weather that night. It was a great night to hunt. All of a sudden, I had like a mote in my eye. I even took my finger and wiped my eye, like, when you get that fogginess over your eye, like it's just, I look and I'm thinking, what is this thing in the trees? It looked like a large piece of saran wrap. It's the only way I can describe it. But this thing was very wide. So I'm at 14 foot and it hung quite a ways down. And I'm thinking, what is this thing? It didn't really scare me at that time until it moved and formed the arm that reached over to the other tree. It reached over about 12, 14 foot and then it all, like a blob, like sucked into it. And it went to the whole other tree. I had this very euphoric feeling like something ate right here. Normally at that time I'd probably got down and stopped hunting, but for some reason I didn't.
So as you're sitting in your blind and you're looking across, where did the blob come from?
I have no idea. It disappeared in the one tree. As it was moving through the woods, it went from like tree to tree and then it disappeared. It didn't continue on. So where it went, I don't know. It's like it just right before my eyes vanished. And I don't remember taking the picture, but being married to who I'm married to, Dr. Bruce McAfee, he always said, if you see anything weird, get a picture. I don't recall actually when either that the sounds have returned. This is like I don't remember. That's not me to this day. Normally I would probably crawl down and run in the house and say, you know, was back there in the woods.
How much longer do you think you stayed in the stand?
About a half hour till sundown when it's time to come out.
The sequence of this is Jan goes out to hunt. We have guests show up. We're having dinner. He comes back from the hunt. He says nothing about what happened. It was strange. The guests are about ready to leave. Later on, Matthew sends me an email. There was a sighting by a number of students and faculty at the high school band practice just before dark.
I'm like, holy crap, maybe it had something to do with what I saw in the woods. And Bruce goes, what? And I said, I forgot to tell you about what happened in those woods to me tonight. And I'm reading this from Matthew, and then I started really getting back in goosebumps. He said this light appeared above the big stadium lights of the football field. Had Matthew not sent that email, I'm not sure if I'd remembered even that night to say anything.
How many kids were on the field?
At least 30 to 40, I'd say.
And was that the high school band?
Yes.
And so this was just before you guys went back to school?
Yes, back in late August.
Late August. So what time of night do you think that was?
Between 6 and 7. We were rehearsing normally out here about 6, 7 o'clock, doing our normal routine. When all of a sudden there was this bright light in the sky that just came out of nowhere. And we all just kind of stopped and looked at it as one.
Where was the light?
So the light was anywhere, it was above the tree line for sure, just kind of hovering in the skyline. Close enough that it catch your attention, like it shouldn't have been there, I guess. If it was some man-made thing, it was too low to be there.
Okay. What was the weather like that night?
Clear and hot. Typical August Ohio weather.
Okay. What color was it?
Candle orange. As far as I can tell, the thing had no definable edges to it. There were no dimensions. It was just kind of waxing and waning until it just sat out. You know, our band director never stopped for anything. He stopped and turned around and looked at us and goes, what the hell was that? Before I had time to even like, think about what I was seeing, it was gone. And then it was just kind of like an imprint in your mind, like I've seen something strange.
So in your gut, are the two issues related?
I often wonder now. All I can say is it happened in the same time frame basically as my experience here. I half a mile over there as the crow would fly.
This is a blackberry. On the back, you have the lens. It's not like the modern ones that have a camera on the front as well as the camera on the back. So I'd be taking your picture right now, but I would not be taking my picture. Something happened to the camera. I don't know what, but there's hard evidence of some weird thing that happened. She took a couple of pictures of herself before the event, which provide a fixed point of investigation, you might say. And she took another picture afterwards. So you have the camera phone doing its normal thing before and after, but right in the middle of this one photo, there's something bizarre happened. The picture she took, the resolution somehow changed to that one picture. You could manually change the cell phone 1600 by 1200, 1024 by 760 or something like that, and 640 by 480. But it got changed to 500 by 400 or something. Numbers that don't exist. I don't know how to make it do that resolution. You'd have to get in there and rewire it somehow, or change the software. But even changing the software doesn't change the number of pixels along the edge of the sensor. I don't know how to explain this filmmetry stuff, and I can't imagine what looks like it was well focused. I don't know what that is.
I've had people write to me and say, well, what that is Jan took a picture of her own hair.
My hair was back through the back of the ball cap. Where it adjusts, it was tied back.
So there was no part of you that could have been in that.
No way, no way.
It'd be possible for her to take a picture of her hair. She put her hand back there, but that wouldn't change the resolution of the camera or the bite size of the picture.
So Jan, let me ask you, since that has happened, has it changed your life?
Yeah, I've never been back in that wisdom hunt that I actually ended up buying a redneck deer blind. I mean, I want something surrounding me.
You can imagine if you saw in the woods some strange thing like that, like the predator. You'd probably learn about going back there again too.